Good evening and welcome back to the Turbo Tuesday podcast. We are back. We've had a couple of weeks off due to a member of staff here having to take a little bit of holiday, shall we say. But as always, we are back, and joining me is, as always, my co-host Jack.
Hello everyone. It's good to be back in the commentators booth for the podcast, because obviously we've got budget cuts, so we've only got a commentators booth now to do everything in. It's a bit cramped in here, George.
Yeah, I mean, the designers could have done better, couldn't they?
They could have done, but oh well, we'll just we'll crack on with it as best I can. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be back. It's probably just about the right time to come back. Like George mentioned, I've been away for a few weeks for various different reasons. So it's nice to come back, do a podcast and cover all the amazing leagues that we've had going on over the past number of weeks. It's been since round 2, hasn't it? I think, since we last did the podcast. So
yes, yeah, lots to catch up on. Just depends where you want to start, because I guess it doesn't really matter which day we start on this time. I guess we should do it our usual fashion of a Wednesday first.
Wednesday followed to Tuesday. Yeah, let's start Wednesday then Tuesday. Not Wednesday then Tuesday. Wednesday to Tuesday, I should say, really.
So obviously, because of the amount of stuff, I think we're just going to kind of read out the general results of each round and crack on. So Wednesdays we have ACC on the PlayStation, which is the GT3 League. Fantastic league to get involved with. Hour-long race with pit stops implied. So the last couple of weeks they went to Catalonia and Nürburgring. Lobby 1 shaped up in this way, in that Kill City won the race, followed by MVP Corner Crack Hankin in third. Then it was Bean Flicker in fourth, Herocram fifth, and Stuart Packham in sixth there. Nürburgring again slightly provisional at the moment. Corner Crack won round Nürburgring. It was tricky Nürburgring as well, because it was all cloudy, so the cars didn't really feel very nice. Herocram second, Huken Luken in third, followed by Marty VR in fourth, then Kill City in fifth, and that'll do for Nürburgring. But in terms of the championship at the moment, again slightly provisional, just do a couple of things in the background. Kill City leading the way on 79 points, followed by, I'm just going to get rid of these columns so I can look at them a bit better, like that. So Kill City on 79, Herocram on 70, so next-gen Herocram showing he is quick in two different domains of sim racing here. Very quick in GT Sport and showing his pace in the ACC world. NXTGEN Hankin in third on 62, Bean Flicker and Corner Crack both on 59, joint in fourth and fifth places. So still all to play for there. In terms of Lobby 2, again obviously they went to Catalonia and Nürburgring. In terms of the top 5, it was Clates 5 who took victory at Catalonia, followed by Zalagrace, Hempy 999, followed by Gnarly Pop, and fifth was Cole Fighter in fifth. Nürburgring, it was Zalagrace who took the victory, so that's 4 winners now. Three winners in 4 races for Lobby 2. Gnarly Pop second, followed by Cole Fighter, Nick Osluz, and then we had from Nick Osluz, Hemo 444 Everest. So that was interesting races around Nürburgring, very cloudy. In terms of the championship positions of points, just quickly hide a few columns. Nollipop leads that one on 78 with Zalagrace on 72, Mark Broadbent 65, Nick Oslew's 62, and myself on 59. So Jack, all to play for in Lobby 2 there, because that is a very tightly packed championship standings after just 4 rounds, and they head to Misano and it's wet tomorrow.
That'll be good, sir. Very good track. Very undulating circuit, Misano. So that'll be a challenge for the drivers in there.
I've heard it's very challenging because of the wet weather that they're having tomorrow, and I'll probably be telling you how horrible it is when I drive it tomorrow. But
I can't wait.
no, apparently it's very, very challenging conditions, to say the least. So
to hear your induced pain.
To be honest, I know I'm not very quick on it, so I'm kind of using this season as a bit of a feeler season, trying to get used to it.
I get the feelers out.
Yeah.
But outside of ACC, obviously on PlayStation 4, you move over to PC. We've got the iRacing Legends League. Now that's been going on for a number of weeks now in race week 4 of Cup, well, race week 5, but we've got results from last week from the 3 races that the drivers went around. Alton Park GP, my home circuit, one of the best circuits of all time in my opinion, but of course I am slightly biased. So they had 3 races. Race 1 went the way of Chaz Cleland. He took the race win in race 1. Second went the way of Bobby Thompson. Third place, a little bit awkward this one because I've got 2 drivers on 18 points and I'm not sure how the bonus points work, but that's of Mikey Dobble and Dan Holland. Then moving down a little bit, you've got Dave Newsham, Lee Horn, and then coming on to 13 points is Ollie Peters. I think there might have been a dual enter there. I'm not sure what's going on that one. Race 2 though, that looks a little bit more clear. I can read that out. Bobby Thompson won the second race at Alton Park. Ollie Peters was second. In third place, that went the way of Mikey Dobble. Again, he's on the podium. He's always on the pace in this series, is Mikey. In fourth place went to Morgan Short. Must resist making a joke there. And joint, in terms of fifth, in terms of joint points rather, Dan Holland and Jonathan Gibbs both scored 14 points. Again, I can't really see what's going on with some of the points. It's a bit of a peculiar one because there's so many people taking part in the league. Then in race 3 we had a top score from Dan Holland. He won race 3, got 25 points in that one. Dave Newsham came second. He scored 22. Third place went the way of Oliver Turner. He got 18 points. Mikey Dobble got 17 points again, so keeping out those consistent points. Colin Martin got 16 points, and Lee Horn, out of the top 6 drivers to get points, he got 15. But the championship standings are looking pretty healthy in terms of the Legends series so far. Mikey Dobble leads the way on 237. Bobby Thompson is second on 205. Dan Holland is third on 180 if you play darts. Fourth is Ollie Peters on 173, and Jamie Dory round out the top 5 on 142, but we should mention very briefly Lee Horn sixth on 128. Next week they head over to Silverstone National in those brilliant little Legends cars.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry, they do. It's not tomorrow, it's next week. That's been a few weeks, Jordan. You can bear with me on that one.
So yeah, tomorrow for those Legends, because obviously this is week 5 of the season. Moving on, Thursdays, we have 2 leagues. Where do you want to start?
I would go with. I will talk about ACC. I think let's talk about the ACC league. I'll do. Do you want to do the pro or the AMS, George? Whichever one you prefer.
I'll take on the pros. I'll take them on. So, although I think the points haven't been input for Imola from last week, so these are from round number 3, where they headed to Brands Hatch. Obviously, there's an overall table as well, which I'll quickly go through. But they had 2 30-minute races around Brands Hatch, and race 1 it was Ben Walker who took the overall victory, followed by Baz Tolsma, Michelle Perella, followed by Fraser Rostance and Harry Mears as the top 5. Race 2 overall, it was Michel Perella who took the victory from Ben Walker. Then it was Gary Smith, Kilian Girardet and Lenny Jongenil in 5th. In terms of the overall point standings, it's Ben Walker who leads the way on 81, Michel Perella on 72, Gary Smith on 50, Kilian Girardet on 40, and Fraser Rostance on 39 in 5th. So quite a tight battle there for third place in the overalls. In terms of the pro, it was obviously Ben Walker who took the victory in race 1 from Baz Tolsma, Michel Perella, then Fraser Rostance, Gary Smith. Obviously Michel Perella took race 2 victory from Ben Walker, then Gary Smith, Kilian Girardet and Lenny Jongenil, so no real surprises there. In terms of the Pro Championship though, Ben Walker leads on 81 with Michel Perella on 72, Gary Smith on 54, Kilian Girardet on 47 and Fraser Rostance on 44, so that does show that there is a small bit of interference in the overalls.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like the amateurs are getting themselves mixed in with all of that. But I would say Girardet, no relation to Dennis, is it?
Not a clue.
Or a co-driver. It'd be very good if it was.
I don't think so.
Obviously, the amateur class then, they obviously also joined in at Brands Hatch. They had a lot of fun there, and they had the 2 races, of course, that were 30 minutes long each. Harry Mears took both race victories, so well done to Harry. He really showed up at Brands Hatch, did excellently well. Tony Hill came second in both races, so there's your 1-2 already, so those 2 proven to be consistent. In terms of the rest of the...
I was just going to say, Tony Hill comes from PS, from the PlayStation. His PlayStation actually broke and died, so he's made the full switch over to PC. He's fairly quick on PlayStation. I used to race against him on GT Sport.
Okay, well, fair play. That just shows you the transition you can make from console to PC if you're that well inclined. But obviously, Tony Hill was second in race 1 and race 2, but I'll talk about race 1, the rest of the top 6. So in 3rd place in race 1 we had Luke Sedman. 4th place went the way of Bob Bartle, who again was another graduate from the console. 5th place Adam Clark. 6th Rob Jackson in race 1. In terms of race 2, obviously it was still Harry Mears and Tony Hill 1-2. 3rd place went the way of Daniel Merchant. 4th place went the way of Adam Clark. 5th went the way of 5th went the way of Bob Bartle, and 6th went the way of Andreas Bayer. So those were the top 6. In terms of the championship standings, it's Harry Mears after his double victory at Brands Hatch who puts himself in the lead of the championship on 63 points. Tony Hill, he's on 57. Dan Merchant's on 52 in 3rd. Adam Clark is 4th on 50 points. 5th place is Andreas Bayer. He's currently on 45 points, and Luke Sedman rounds out those top 6 drivers on 43. Next week they go back to the single race format at Imola for 75 minutes.
Imola should have been run last week, yes. They should be at Paul Ricard, but depending on what happened last week. But it's shaping up to be quite good, that PCACC league, so we have to keep an eye on it as we enter the season break. But should we move on to the touring car section of Thursdays, shall we say?
Absolutely, I'll let you kick things off on Lobby 1.
The Paramax Megane Trophy came from Italy and Lago Maggiore GP2 last week, and Suzuka GP the week before. We'll talk about Suzuka first. It was incredibly tight, but Ruddo took the victory in race 1, followed by Hirakram, who took a bonus point with him, followed by Jainho, Bruce Lee Harding, Hill Climb Racer in 5th there. That was your top 5. Top 5 for race 2 was Hirakram, who also took fastest lap, Ruddo in 2nd, Jainho 3rd, 4th was Adam ID, and myself was 5th. Then we obviously headed last week to Lago Maggiore GP2, so the reverse variant of the massive layout. And also, Jack, I don't know whether you read, but also my last effective competitive race for this season in the Megans.
Competitive?
Yes, as in I will only be backfilling at the as of this week.
Sorry, I was making a joke there. Sorry.
Yeah,
Couldn't help myself.
didn't go well. Didn't go well. No, it's I can see the comments. No.
No, there you go. You can see.
Oh, look! Someone called Jack has put that. I hate him. No, it's my last competitive race for the season, unless outside things get cancelled on the day. As we all know, real life gradually coming back to us, slowly but surely. But I still got to race in Lago Maggiore, which is nice. But race 1, Ruddo took the victory from Hierocram, both of them taking a bonus point each. Followed by Rally Matt in 3rd, Hillclimb Race at 4th, Bruce Lee Harding in 5th, who was having throttle issues on the night. So that's a good effort from him in the first race. Second race, Hierocram beat Ruddo to the line this time, but Hierocram also took the fastest lap point, which means he will extend his lead by a point after all of that commotion. Hillclimb was 3rd, 4th Jainio, 5th Martin JR09, which is good to see because he's been a bit unlucky this season as Martin. But I must also state that those results still provisional, with a few things in the background to be sorted. In terms of overall points though, Hierocram is leading on 152, Ruddo on 142, so only 10 points between them, and bear in mind there is 2 drop scores to come, and I've got a feeling Ruddo's drop scores are going to be less than Hierocram's right now. So that's going to get very interesting very quickly as we come near the end of the season. Hillclimb on 103, Jainio 87, Bruce Lee Harding 86, and Matty Rudd rounds out the top 6 on 82. So the midfield is still very much a close battle in Lobby 1. Jack, Lobby 2 for you.
Yeah, Lobby 2, obviously we had Suzuka GP, Lego Maggiore, as John said, obviously on that number 2 variant of Lego Maggiore. But we'll go to Suzuka first, where the first race, my god, what a great fight we had. Duskiver took his first ever victory in Lobby 2 in the Megane Trophy. Well done to him, he had a great race all the way through. Duds turned out to be his night, he ended up being 2nd in that race. He had a great drive through the field. KZ2 Haas came in 3rd place for a start of his double podium of the night. 4th place went the way of 1805, who's been right in the mix this season. I've been quite impressed with 1805's improvement from the last few seasons. D Hartley ended up coming home in 5th place. 6th went the way of NXTGEN Danzo, and 7th was Big Madas. Obviously the name that you've not heard there, Dominator 3, didn't have the best of times in race 1, but he bounced back in race 2. But before we get to that, the man who won race 2, Duds, absolutely fantastic in the last 2 rounds. He's been absolutely superb. Suzuka ended up being his almost sort of quasi home. He was excellent all the way through. He caught Dominator, cleanly passed him, and took his first ever race win in the Megane Trophy. Absolutely brilliant drive from Duds, who I've re-nicknamed Dudzuka for his in the Megane chat room, so that's what he's got stuck with his nickname. Dominator still got 2nd, got 18 points. 3rd went the way of KZ2 Haas again. 4th went to D Hartley, who had a sort of quiet Suzuka set of races, but no harm done. He kept the points there where he needed to. Biggsy had a good run. He went up into 5th place in race 2. 6th went the way of 1805, and 7th went to race 1 winner Duskiver. Then last Thursday we went to Lego Maggiore GP, and we had a phenomenal race 1 right at the end. It was brilliant all the way through. There was a wonderful fight between Danzo, 1805, Big Madas. There was a huge group of cars fighting, but at the front, D Hartley had led pretty much all the way through the race until the last 3 corners. Dominator caught him back up, overtook him, and 1 on the line. He took the race win, so he got 22 points because he got fastest lap as well. Dee Hartley was second in that race. Dudds came home in third, another good strong performance from him. Fourth went away with KZ2 Haas in race 1. Duskaiber was fifth, Big Madas was sixth, and 1805 rounded out the top 7 on that front. Then race 2 came around, the reverse grid format, and a big cheer for KZ2 Haas, who finally took his first ever win in the Megane Trophies. He took part in the first ever Megane Trophy League that we did in NXTGEN season 17. He was desperately unlucky not to win during that season. He come back and he got that race win. It was really well deserved. He drove excellently all the way through. He fended off Dudds from a bit of a gap. He came home and seconded Dudds. Third went the way of 1805 for his second podium of the season. Fourth in the end went the way of Big Madas. He scored fourth place. Fifth went to Dee Hartley, who got a bonus point for fastest lap. Sixth went to NXTGEN Danzo, and seventh went to Duskaiber. You might be wondering where Dominator is. He came 8th, so a bit of a topsy-turvy event in the Italian Lake Circuit. In terms of the championship, boy oh boy is it close at the top. NXTGEN Dominator 3 leads on 130, but Dee Hartley 79 is 1 point behind him on 129. Dudds is right in the championship fight now. He's on 121. KZ2 Haas is 4th on 108. Duskaiber is 5th on 96. NXTGEN Danzo is 6th on 92. Big Madas is 7th on 83 points. 1805 is 8th on 75. And joint 9th, and technically rounding out the top 10 on 64 points each are NXTGEN Bigsy and Chalk 12. On Thursday night they head to Interlagos for 2 races before the week break, and well, we're in for one hell of a championship ride, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is with the Meganes as well is that it's never really over until the last round because of the way the drop score systems work. Anything can happen during the season. I mean, and some people who miss rounds get an advantage but also a disadvantage all at the same time. So if you miss a week, your 2 drop scores are your zeros. Now that's brilliant because effectively what you score is what you score, but you have to score big on every single visit to the track. So it's a really really interesting thing to have, and it makes for some interesting racing come after in the last sort of rounds.
Shall we move on to the Friday League, Jordan? I'll let you take the reins on this one.
Well, I don't think there's really much to really say about it because I think we may have already covered this because there's only 2 rounds updated on the spreadsheet. Which is up to Interlagos round 2 and they had Daytona Road Course. I think we covered this last time.
We did.
So unfortunately no update on that one. We'll have to come back to you next week on a bit of a bigger update for the GTE League on iRacing on Fridays. But they are due to be at Spa-Francorchamps this week.
That'll be a good race.
Saturdays, because we do actually have a league every day this season, which is an impressive achievement, not easy to do. And that was the ACC PlayStation GT4 League. They headed to Spa-Francorchamps, and unfortunately it was a bit of a small grid in terms of there was only 7 who raced on Friday. On Saturday. I'm normally one of them, but I wasn't, and again, real life things are going to get in the way, which is a bit of a shame because it was an enjoyable league, the GT4s. But I think I'll explain a little bit something afterwards. But it was Kill City who won the race, followed by Gerino, Beam Flicker in 3rd, and GT Delhi B 4th. Gnarly Pop, Corner Crack, and Cam 1, 2, 3 days all ended up retiring from the race, unfortunately. So a bit of a small finish, but there's quite a lot of rumours around the GT4 class because ACC in recent weeks have had updates and BOP changes to the cars, and it seems to have made one particular car in the Audi the quickest, and I think people are wondering maybe that's causing a bit of an issue in terms of the numbers, because obviously people are picking their car, and it's just sometimes not just nowhere near competitive compared to others around it. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, they're due to be at Nürburgring this coming Saturday, so see how that goes. I know a few of the drivers do stream their races, so I think John Wells is one of them. So do look out for their streams as and when they approach on, and definitely get involved in that one, because it's a really good beginner league to get yourself into ACC. It is DLC, which is a bit of a downside, but if you've got the DLC, it's a great big entry league into ACC.
Absolutely, all the leagues, get yourself involved, especially on Assetto Corsa. It's a really good league that John hosts on the Saturdays, and really important to try and, if you're looking for an entry point to get into league racing, I'd say that on Assetto Corsa, in any case, GT4 is a really nice place to start, and definitely would recommend John's league on a Saturday evening. Alrighty then, we'll move forward on to Sundays, which is the Fast R BMW M4 League. Don't forget this league has 2 lobbies, so I'll cover lobby 1, and because Jordan barely said anything on John's, he'll get to do lobby 2. But in any case, looking back, we've got 2 sets of groups of races to go through. Now, not sure what happened in the 2 weeks ago race at Brands Hatch, but there are a set of blanked out results, so I'm assuming there were technical difficulties at Brands Hatch for the round 3 event, so there's only one set of results, so I'll read them out in terms of the alien class and the so-called normal class, as it's dubbed. So in terms of the alien class, Sparks Theory took the race win. He got pole position as well, scored himself 22 points. TNR Philo came home in second, he got 18. GTP Rick WRX got third, he was on 15 points. Luke Doherty, 94, he got fourth, and MMR Luke Mitchell was fifth. That's in the alien class. If you look at the other part of the lobby, of course, it's a little bit different. You go down into the normal class. Martin JL09 was the race winner there. He got the full score, 21 points. I say it's full score, he got the race victory. Second place went the way of NXTGEN Neutro Storm. Third place went to Duskiver. Fourth went to Edge HJG. Fifth went to DCAS 16. Sixth went the way of Suburtus. Seventh went the way of D10 Piper, but there was only one race in lobby 1. Not sure what happened, why, but we will come back to that if they decide to rerun it later on in the season, which they might do during the season break.
I believe there was a bit of a lobby issue in terms of a mass disconnect.
Oh.
Or something like that. Basically, the lobby was playing up. I believe they are due to be rerunning that race at some point.
Oh dear. Well, hopefully things get a little bit better for them. In terms of last Sunday, though, at the Nürburgring GP, they managed to get both races in, and it was Sparks Theory in the alien class who won again. He got pole position and fastest lap alongside the race win, so he took the full score of 23 points. TNR Philo was second with 18, MMR Luke Mitchell was third, fourth went to Luke Doherty, and fifth went to GTP Rick WRX, so I'll play to him. In terms of race 2 in the alien class, it was first place to GTP Rick, well done. Second went the way of TNR Philo. Third went to MMR Luke Mitchell. Fourth, it's a bit peculiar this one, Sparks got 4th place, but I'm assuming he got pole and fastest lap. That's the only thing I can figure out. Looks a little bit odd, he's got 14 points.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because there isn't a second qualification. I think it's reverse grid.
Oh.
Unless it's 2 points for fastest lap in race 2.
So maybe he finished 5th and it was Luke Doherty who finished 4th.
Possibly.
The case.
Possibly.
In terms of race 2 for the normal class, Matthew Lambert, or rather race 1 in the normal class, Matthew Lambert took the race victory. Second went the way of Martin JL09. Third went to NXTGEN Reset to Track, good name. Fourth went the way of NXTGEN Neutro Storm. Fifth went to Subvertus. Sixth went to NXTGEN, and Duskiver came home in seventh. For race 2, Matthew Lambert, another race victory, well done to him. He got the double on Sunday night. Second place went to Subvertus, so well done to Subvertus. It's his first podium for a while. Third went the way of NXTGEN Neutro Storm. Fourth went to NXTGEN Reset to Track. Fifth was NXTGEN. Sixth was Decast 16, and seventh went the way of Duskiver. In terms of the championship standings, that's where it gets mixed up a little bit. In the Alien League, it's Sparks Theory who leads the way on 101 points. TNR Philo is second on 93. Third is GTP Rick WRX on 76. Fourth is MMR Luke Mitchell. Fifth is Luke Doherty. They're on 76, 70 and 39 points respectively in that class. In terms of the normal class in Lobby 1, Matthew Lambert is on 93 points. Martin JL09 is second on 81 points. Third is NXTGEN Neutro Storm on 79. Fourth is NXTGEN Reset to Track on 67. Fifth is Subvertus on 65. Edge HJG is 6th on 54. Duskiver is 7th on 53. Dcast 16 is 8th on 52. Gino Dema is 9th on 33. And rounding out the top 10 and the rest of the lobby, D10 Piper on 26 points. Looks very close in the normal class in the fight in the midfield for fourth.
Yeah, moving on, Lobby 2, so effectively the third class in the BMW M4s. This time no split class in this one, it's just one massive lobby. And obviously they went to Brands Hatch and Nürburgring. Brands Hatch, it was NXTGEN Robo FPV who took the first race victory along with a bonus point. He was followed by Pokey Prelude, followed by Duds CF14, NXTGEN Dominator, Shadowstalker DBS. That's a good result from Shadowstalker. He's the first to admit that he's not the quickest driver, but I think he does finish, and when he finishes strong. Does Shadow. And then Big Z rounding out the top 5, I believe, or top 6, sorry. Second race, it was Danzo who took the victory, followed by 1805. Then it was Bifta 76, followed by NXTGEN Robo FPV, who also took the fastest lap, and then NXTGEN Big Z rounding at the top 5, with NXTGEN Leo Frick in 6th. Then they were headed to Nürburgring GP, in which it was Duds who took the race 1 victory, followed by Robo FPV, who took a pole position. Third was NXTGEN Dominator. Fourth, Danzo. Fifth was... It's interesting. Apparently no one scored 12 points on that, but... I'm going to take a punt that might be 1805, maybe the one after. So in 5th. In race 2, it was NXTGEN Big Z who took the victory, which is a great effort by him. His first victory of the season for the M4s. On those precious 21 points coming in handy for him, I think, looking at the standings. TP86 on the podium. With him on 18 points in race 2, fantastic effort by him. His first podium, his second podium of the season in the M4s. Third was Bifta 76. Fourth was Danzo. Fifth was Duds, who took the fastest lap, 6th, 1805. In terms of the championship standings, NXTGEN Robo FPV leads the way on 99 points, with Duds on 90. Danzo has 83, 1805, 71. Big Z 65, tied with TP86 Racing on 65 as well. NXTGEN Dominator on 58, Leo Frick 54, Chalk 12 43, and Shadowstalker DBS running at the top 10 on 42. Now, They did do Monza last week, but no results yet from that. I believe there's a couple of things in the background for the points just being done. But they head to Spa-Francorchamps for this week, this coming Sunday. So there you are, Jack. That is the BMW M4s up to date as far as we can see.
Brilliant. So let's move on to its predecessor in terms of the number. I wouldn't call it a predecessor in any sense, but it's the Fordyce's BMW M3 League on Monday night. They've obviously done their 5th round this week, so they're on break week now. So we won't be seeing them for another 2 weeks in that respect. So we'll travel back 2 weeks in time to Interlagos, where the drivers had 2 races. So in terms of the race results, I'm just going to cover the top 5 because there's quite a few results to get through here. So in race 1 at Interlagos, NXTGEN Les on his way again, 22 points. He won that round. Adam ID came home in 2nd place. 4Fish finished in 3rd. 4th went the way of Mehanesta at 98, and then 5th place went the way of Rally Matt 85. In terms of race 2, it's a full reverse grid, but it was Les again. Fantastic driving. He's been absolutely superb this season. He scored another race victory. Bruce Lee Harding came home in 2nd place. 3rd went the way of Adam ID, who took the bonus point for fastest lap. 4th went to Mehanesta, and 5th went the way of 4Fish. That was Interlagos. Looked like there was a lot of good battles and a lot of cars on circuit, which is good to see. At Lego Maggiore a week ago, well, it might be a different race circuit, but there's certainly no different winner. NXTGEN Les has been on fire. He took pole position and fastest lap, 23 points, full maximum score. He's absolutely flying. He took that victory. Adam ID was in 2nd, 4Fish was 3rd, Bruce Lee Harden was 4th, and Mehanesta 98 round about the top 5. In terms of race 2, it was NXTGEN Les again. Despite starting from the back, he took another race victory. Adam ID was 2nd again for the 2nd race in a row. 4Fish was 3rd, Bruce Lee Harden was 4th, and Traumatic Dave 88 came home in 5th place. A really good result for Dave to see him in the top 5 for the 2nd time this season. On Monday, the drivers went to Kyoto, Yamagiwa and Miyabi variant, and like I just said, surprise surprise, NXTGEN Les won again at race 1. He took the full maximum score of 23. 2nd place went the way of Bruce Lee Harden, who's having a very good solid campaign as Bruce. 3rd went to Rally Matt. 4th went the way of 4Fish, and 5th was Mehanesta once again. In terms of race 2 results, we are a little bit pending on this, but I will read them out as they have been inputted. NXTGEN Les took another race victory. Mehanesta was 2nd, Rally Matt 85 was 3rd, 4th went the way of Bruce Lee Harding, and 5th went the way of 4Fish. Adam ID not taking part at Kyoto, and I think it's really giving the impetus now on NXTGEN Les. He's got a massive lead in the championship, and what I will say to everyone, and I haven't seen this for some time, but Les has won 7 races in a row. That's a huge streak to be on. And I know that, was it Dimitrios who won the full season in Assetto Corsa?
Kill City, I think he might have done that, yeah.
Yeah, he did the full season, and that's 12 events. It was the 12 events one he did, wasn't it?
Maybe the 12 events one, yeah. I'm pretty sure he's done a 10 events one as well.
Definitely done a 10 events. I think it might have been a 10 events now, actually, now that Jordan's prompted me. And he's done 10 in a row. Les has got all of the ample time to break a record here. No one's ever won 12 races in a season. No one's ever won 11, as far as the records go.
But in theory, obviously, Les has a bigger opportunity. So it's whether it's because remember when Kill City done it, they don't have double races. It's just a single race.
No, of course not.
So I think it will be a record in terms of the number of wins, but I think Kill Cities would, for me, would still rank higher, just purely on the basis that there's no second chances on that one.
Yeah, it's unbeaten on the season. However, I still think it is a record in its own right. But let's be honest, we've still got to see Les win 3 consecutive races to even match it, and then do it again at Laguna Seca Race 2. So, bit of time to go yet. Let's not jump the gun. But Brands Hatch GP is where the drivers will be heading off to in next week after the break week. So 2 weeks time.
Yeah. Yeah, so moving on, we'll go to Assetto Corsa, I think, next. Probably a wise idea. I was just checking something as well. Yeah, so I think the closest to it, Herocram done 7 wins in a season out of 10 in the Megans 2 seasons ago. But interesting. Yeah, but interestingly, Herocram, the 3 races that he didn't win, he started at the back of the grid, so...
Yeah, just started at the back from 3 of his, so 4 of his actually, so not bad.
But moving on from Mondays, we go to Assetto Corsa and the ACC KTM Crossbow League. Again, a great beginning league for Assetto Corsa. Again, need a bit of DLC to go with it, but great league to be in. Really tight racing as well. It's even if you're still learning the way the car works, it's the racing is fantastic in the league. But we went to Nürburgring for round 3. Unfortunately, we only had 1 race that went well because the server decided to cut most people out of race 1 before it finished. So that's going to be rerun in the week break. So these guys not getting a week break, they get a slightly shorter formats for the slightly shorter week break. But for race 2, it was Cam13 Diz who took the victory from Zlatan. Beanflecker in 3rd. 4th was Westy. 5th myself. 6th Mamster. Then we headed to the mighty Hungaroring, in which Cam13 Diz once again took another victory, followed by Stu Packham, then myself in 3rd, my first podium in the KTMs this season, which I'm quite happy, quite proud with. Yeah, golf clap there from Jack. Beanflecker in 4th. 5th was GT Deli B. Westy came after that, and then Mamster at the back. Second race at Hungaroring, it was Beanflecker who took the victory from GT Deli B, Stu Packham, followed by Cam, then myself, Mamster, and Westy SEI W20. Then Monday just gone. Again, these Zandvoort results are provisional currently. Race 1, NXTGEN Zlatan took the victory. Drove very well in race 1 actually. Zlatan took advantage of mistakes from Beanflecker and Mamster. But GT Deli B came 2nd with myself in 3rd. 4th Mamster. 5th was Stu Packham. 6th Westy. 7th Beanflecker. Then race 2, Zlatan took another victory. Again, provisional. Everything's provisional at the moment for this. Then it was Mamster 2nd. Stu Packham 3rd. 4th was myself, Westy 5th. Beanflecker 6th, and GT Deli B in 7th. So in terms of the league, again, I'm going to probably repeat myself a lot here, but just to get the point across, still provisional on the total points. Beanflecker leads on 163 with Mamster on 148. I'm on 142. Westy on 133, joint with GT Deli B. Zlatan on 121 after he missed a round, and Stu Packham on 104. Considering he's meant to be a filler, he's doing quite well for a filler, is Stu Packham. So it's still quite tight. I mean, only 15 points between Beanflecker and Mamster, and anything can happen in these KTMs. Like, Beanflecker had a really rough evening just gone, so if he has another few of those, that gap might close quite quickly. and we head to we go to Nürburgring next week to catch up for race 1 there, but in 2 weeks' time we head to Laguna Seca for round number 6.
Exciting times ahead. It's going to be fascinating to see how that one plays out. So, Jordan's avoided the big one here. I've got to cover 9 races worth of content on
Enjoy.
Race Room. Really looking forward to that. So I'm going to do the top 5 for each race. I know it doesn't get the full picture across, but to save a little bit of time, for the Daytona road course from week number 3, in race 1, Ben Walker took the race victory along with pole position. Second place went to Alex Everett. Third went the way of Fraser Rostance, a familiar name amongst those of the old NXTGEN faithful. Fourth went to William Foyle, and fifth went the way of Jeff Purkis. Interesting race 1. In terms of race 2, when the ballast comes in and the partial reverse grid comes into that, Lee Horn took a race win. No doubt patting himself on the back with that one. Second place for the first time during the season, Jonas Lindberg took second place, and it seems he took a 0.4 fastest lap as well. Third went the way of Alex Everett. Fourth place in the end went to Justin Wellbeloved, and fifth went to Adam Clark. In terms of race 3 around the Daytona race course, it was Ben Walker who took first place in that top 15 reverse grid. Second went to Fraser Rostance again, so 2 podiums in 3 races. Third went to Matthew Addy. Fourth went the way of Alex Ward, and fifth went to Alex Everett again, so good set of races for Alex. At week 4, round 4, going to Zandvoort, cracking travel up Zandvoort. First place went to Zuriah Garunian in race 1. Second went to Adam Clark. Third went to Lee Horn. Fourth, William Foyle and Jeff Purkis rounded out the top 5. In terms of race 2 with the ballast, Alex Everett back at the front again took the race win and fastest lap point as well, so well done to him. Second went to Ben Walker on 24 points. Third went to William Foyle. Fourth went to Lee Horn, and fifth went to Zuriah Garunian, so a good race for him. In terms of race 3 with that additional reverse bias grid, Adam Clark came home and took a race win for I think the first time this season, so well done for him on his first win. Second went to Jeff Purkis, obviously bought his way there. But third went to Dave Whitehouse, his first podium in the series. Obviously well done to Dave, cracking result for him, having moved on to PC in recent times. Fourth place went the way of Zuriah Garunian, and fifth went to Matthew Addy at race 3 at Zandvoort. On Monday, that was last night, they went to Autodrom Most. You might not have heard of this circuit, but it's in Czech Republic, otherwise known as Czechia nowadays. Czech Republic's second most famous circuit. Jordan will know what the most famous one is, but if you want to put a comment in to tell everyone how much of an anorak you are, feel free to do so. So race 1 at Autodrom Most, the race victory, pole position and fastest lap point all went to Zuriah. Great performance from him. Second went to Lee Horn. Third went to Adam Clark. Fourth place ended up belonging to William Foyle, and fifth was Alex Everett, always in and around the top 5 as Alex. In terms of race 2 at Autodrom Most, it was Ben Walker who took a race victory. Second went to Alex Everett. Third went to William Foyle. Fourth place went to Lee Horn, and fifth went to Jeff Purkis. For race 3, it switched up a little bit. First place went back the way of Zuriah. Second went to Adam Clark. Third went to Alex Everett. Fourth went to Alex Ward. And fifth place went the way of Matthew Addy. So well done to Matthew for getting into the top 5 in race 3 once again. That was at Autodrom Most. In terms of the championship standings, well, it's pretty close. Alex Everett leads the way on 186 points, and second is Ben Walker on 172. Third is Adam Clark on 164. Fourth is Zuriah Garunian in 163 points. Fifth, Lee Horn on 154. Sixth, William Foyle on 153. Seventh is Jeff Purkis on 140. 8th is Matthew Addy on 126. 9th is Fraser Rostons on 116. And 10th is Jorgen Madsby Pedersen on 104. I don't know where they're heading to in 2 weeks' time because I haven't got the thing in front of me, which is my own fault. Should be able to find out, actually, to be honest with you. But it's looking very close.
Yeah, it's. I think it's going to be that league always very close. One of the probably the closest PC leagues. I can tell you where they are next. Austrian Master.
Heading to.
Well, they'd done Salzburg on Monday, just gone. Obviously, those results still being prepared and finalised, which we do, I believe. And then after the break, they head to Nürburgring short, the sprint circuit at Nürburgring. So should be very, very good.
Right, so thanks for everyone for listening. See you next week.
I think we've got one more left. As per usual, me and Jack have the F1 2020 League, in which we headed to Austria for round number 5, and we usually tell our own tales of our adventures.
I'll let you start, George, because I've just done that big hacking speech.
So, Aussie Austria.
I say one thing before we start. No one commented it, but it's actually Brno, Czech's biggest circuit.
I knew that.
I know you know it. That's why I didn't get you to answer. Oh, we lost Jordan.
That's right, I'm back. So yeah, Austria. Love the circuit. But I mean, it's fair to say, Jack, qualifying was interesting.
That was brilliant.
So initially it was looking dry for the first 5 minutes, so enough time to go out with a set of soft tyres, complete a dry run, come back in. And I'm really gutted I didn't stick with what I had planned, because I think I'd have had a really, really good run. But it started to rain on the outlap, and so there was there was about 3 before me that pulled the trigger first, but I was one of the first group to actually abandon the first time lap and go in for a set of intermediates, and it would have worked had what I thought would have happened did happen, but it didn't, which is I thought the track was going to get a lot wetter whilst like you, Jack, and Cameron were done like a lap or 2 longer than us, so I was hoping the track would get a bit wetter, which meant obviously less grip, less time to be had, but it wasn't the case, which was a bit of a shame, because I think me and Lionel Grisby, otherwise known as Matty, I think we pulled an absolute blinder had that happened. But it wasn't to be, so qualified 8th, started on the mediums, lap 1 got tapped into a wall, lost my front wing. Luckily safety car came out, so I was able to come in, change it, went out on another set of mediums, which in hindsight probably wasn't the best idea, but I thought I'd go a bit longer rather than trying to split it evenly on softs. I'd just stick it out a little bit longer and have some fresher softs for the end and use the grip. So it came back out, was kind of like got past Joshington, was kind of just plodding along, and yeah, then it all kicked off, and not in the good way for Jack, but good for me, because we had a second safety car period in which it enabled me to come in, grab some softs, and yeah, I mean in the end, obviously again provisional results, etc, I end up 4th, which I was quite happy about, considering I ended up in a lap 1 crash. And whilst we're at it, Cameron decided he was going to try and crash half the field out Mugello style.
Yeah, I have to say one thing on that. I don't know what the starting regulation is because obviously in the F1 league we follow the F1 rules. So if there was a collision behind, if it's found that Cameron was like going too slow on the start finish straight, in theory he could face a penalty for that. It's genuinely true. He's probably sitting there getting really annoyed at me for saying that, but I don't know. But I think there was. I remember there was an inquest. I don't know whether they reached a decision after what happened at Mugello about the starting procedure in terms of coming out of the final corner.
I think at Magello it was more a case of the fact that I think it was Bottas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's because Bottas sped up and then slowed back down again. But yeah, very, very awkward start. But the other thing as well is
say that's not true.
Yeah. But the interesting thing as well is that I'm pretty certain at the start Mikey came past me before the start finish line. Now I'm pretty certain.
No, you can overtake past the safety car line.
Well, no, because as far as I was aware, that the rules were you weren't allowed to overtake until the start finish. They took away the safety car line.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain they took it away, which is why at Bahrain, when they had the safety car, Verstappen didn't go until the line, because the rule is you're not allowed to overtake until that start finish line. Yeah, and Cameron's just confirmed it with me. But it felt like, I don't know whether Mikey timed it to absolute perfection or whether he did just overtake before the line, but it's really, really weird on that second restart. But yeah, I mean, fourth place, I can't really argue with that, considering where I was after lap one in a wall.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you did quite well there. You know, I think that's understandable. There is a ruling, actually. I'm actually reading the FIA ruling at the minute here on the restarts, and it says here, just reading quote 31A on safety car line. No one can overtake until they pass the safety car line. Yeah, we already know that. However, it does state. Yeah, here we go. It does state that it has to restart in a safe and predictable manner. All I'm going to say on that is if anyone puts a complaint in, Cameron, fingers crossed, mate. Because I don't know on that one. That's not my ruling, that's what I've just read. I didn't have any problem with it. But, hey, that's me. Anywho, let's have a look.
How was your race, Jack?
Well, my qualifying was interesting. I was the one who reached the checkered flag on, the first lap on the dry tyres. It should have been Di Wheels on pole. He would have got pole position. He took about 2 seconds out of me on that first lap. But he crashed coming out of the final corner, and I think he was absolutely gutted. Not to do that, not to take that pole position, because he would have been the one to have done it on the dry tyres. He would have been setting a 1:11. In my qualifying, I've always been good on wet conditions. It's something I've always been good at, even on a controller, which I'm still on at the moment. And I should have been right with you, Cameron. I know he's watching, but I absolutely bottled the final corner, and I hit the big sausage curve on the inside. I was 4.5 tenths up, 5 tenths up. So I'd have been right there in qualifying, but it didn't want to be. The race was just bloody stupid. I don't have the same raw pace around Austria as I did when I was on the wheel last season. If you look at my pole position lap from last season at Austria, compare that to my dry running in practice, come on, there's absolute daylight between the two. But I felt fine. I was in second. I was fine. I wasn't concentrating on Cameron. I was just running my own race. Bud's got past me, which is, to be honest with you, he stuck with me all the way through. I was just trying to look after my my fuel, and my ERS for later in the race. But he got past me, and I thought, oh, I'll just jump in a lap earlier so I can get a little bit of breathing room on the mediums. And then the second safety car happened after I pitted. So I lost track position there. And I had a back marker between myself and Joshington, who'd moved up to third place. So I was just thinking, right, okay, I've been properly turned around here. Got past the back marker despite the having to stop absolutely dead on circuit. Feel free to go and watch my Twitch for that, because that was just bizarre. But luckily I didn't get a penalty or anything for it. Carried on. I got past Joshington, scared him off the circuit, genuinely. He just drove off it in protest, I think. I'm not a bit confused. But got up to third, and I thought, yeah, okay, I've got a penalty. I got that by going into the pit lane. I couldn't see the pit lane stop line. I would have, if I'd have seen it, I know I would have easily braked for it, but I just couldn't see it in time. That was that. I think someone had took it out during one of the safety car moments, and obviously I couldn't see it, so off I went. So I was in third. I thought, okay, try and get a bit of a gap. Wasn't going to happen though, because the line of Greasby was on the softs, I was on the mediums. It wasn't going to happen. And then all chaos broke loose in front of me. I saw Cameron round. I overtook Buds. I was in the lead with 2 laps to go. I had a 5-second penalty. I wasn't going to win, but I had to think tactically. I had Matty behind me. I had Cameron in third. I knew what needed to be done to make sure I limited my points loss in the championship. Because of the 5 seconds, I let Matty go on the final lap. I let him through. I wasn't going to win. I was only 4 tenths clear of him. I know some people will say, well, you're mad for letting some of them. Yeah, I know. But tactically, championship, trying to pull as many points on, well, Reedy while I'm here, and Matty was right behind me. I didn't want to spend too much time fighting him. So I let Matty go, just extended that little bit of a gap to the cars that were further down the field. I know Cameron tried to have a pop around the final corner, but that was never happening in the month for some days. But yeah, I came home with 5th place provisionally. It might end up being 4th because of an inquiry into the penultimate lap incident, which if it does, it's another 2 points for me. Jord gets a podium if that happens. We don't know yet. We need the PFEs, so we're gonna have a look at that in the review squad. I'm not gonna say anything because for me, I feel like I would be a little bit biased in the area, so I'll let the reviewers do that. Cameron's just saying I didn't try to overtake you on the last lap. Yes, you did run the final corner. Don't you talk daftness. Cameron's put a comment in there, but no, honestly, I'm really chuffed with 5th. In an ideal world, had the safety car not happened and had my penalty not come about, I could have won that. But it was such a topsy-turvy race. I'm happy to come away with 5th place, to be honest. I've got a nice little lead in the championship. You know, because Reedy didn't race tonight, so I've got 24 points on Reedy. There's a couple of races still to come that are going to be really tricky. I'm still on the controller, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough to try and hold on to any form of championship victory. But I'll do my best. That's all I can do. Give it me all. We've got a break week now, and then we're back to Japan for round 6. So that'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think a nice week off means I might actually get some practice in, but probably not. You know me. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. I mean, in terms of, and I can see Jack meddling with my table.
Yeah.
I hate to say it's Jack, but you didn't get pole. Well, you did get pole, but you didn't get an extra point for pole position.
Yeah, I got it for fastest lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's,
using your colour indicator. It says pole and fastest lap in blue.
yeah, no. That's got to be.
Yeah, yeah, shut up.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you horrible man.
Yeah. Well, no one else has got pole positions on this. So. I mean, because in essence, some of those should be green. So, and that doesn't make sense. What are you doing?
It's fine. Don't worry about me.
You're going round in my tables, messing stuff up.
In terms of the championship standings, because I'm Jordan up enough there. Do you want to do the honours of the drivers? I'll do the teams.
You can do the drivers, I'll do the teams. I can't do the teams.
So I lead the championship on 95 points somehow. Reedy 29 is second on 71. Lionel Griesby is third after getting a race victory, first time ever in NXTGEN. Well done, Matty. Lionel Griesby, absolutely fabulous, mate. Really chuffed for you.
Did he not win one last season?
No, he never won. Oh yeah, he did.
Your encyclopedic knowledge is going, mate.
No, I don't apply it to F1. Yeah, no, he got it at Silverstone.
I'll have a look now because I've got the sheet.
I think it was Silverstone.
Britain, yeah.
Silverstone. See, my encyclopedia knowledge isn't going yet, George.
It's just cracking.
Shut up. Lionel Griesby's third on 57 points. NXTGEN Envoy Extreme, that's Cameron in the chat, he's 49 points. Jordan is 5th on 47. Beeler 007 is 6th on 42. Mikey RK13 is 7th on 39. 8th is F1 Alex on 32. Buds is 9th on 30 points. He's had a good 2 races so far. I've been very impressed with Buds. And 10th is Joshington 232. Gotta say though, that qualifying session, I really, I make no joke about it. Go and have a look at whoever you want to on Twitch for tonight. That could be me, that could be Jordan, that could be Cameron. That qualifying session was mega. It was so fun. You just thought who's going to get. But I thought for one moment it was going to be Matty on pole, Jordan second, me third, and then it just switched again. So go and have a watch.
It was just that period where it didn't quite get as wetter in the way that I thought it was going to. Because coming across the line, I was like, yes, I'm second, and then I'm coming back in the pits, I'm like 7th, 8th, okay. But nice break. Obviously, I don't think we're breaking on podcast, are we? We're back next week.
Hey, we've got about the teams.
Oh yeah, the teams, yeah.
I gave you one job.
Well, actually, you give me loads of jobs, so
Yeah,
go away. In terms of the teams, though, I'm going to say the team name, and Jack's going to tell you one of the team names, obviously, because I'm knackered to say it. But I'll also state which cars they're in as well to make it a bit easier if you are watching the streams. But leading the way is winging it with BTR in the McLarens. There we are on 142 points. AER Motorsport and the Mercedes gang, non-scoring Austria, so they have 103 points. Jack, take this one away.
Simpliciotti are on 96 points, that's Ferrari.
Yeah. Alfa Romeo, driving Alfa Romeos, are on 60 points. Red Bull Racing, racing as AlphaTauri, Red Bull, they're on 46. AlphaTauri on Red Bull Racing, yeah. AlphaTauri are on 38. Renault on 17. Williams 2. Joint with Haas and Racing Point are yet to score.
And then, obviously, just to repeat from earlier, we are back in 2 weeks' time for Japan. Not only a wonderful race circuit, but also a wonderful country. I'm not biased at all.
But I think me and you are back next week, aren't we, to do the second half of this week?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so, yeah. Absolutely.
Second half of the week to do, but obviously I suspect we'll be on a little bit earlier than what we are tonight. So that we can play some other games during the night. But I think that's everything to say, isn't it, Jack?
Yes, it is in that respect. I don't think there's anything else to cover. Next week is obviously going to be a little bit of a shorter podcast because we don't have as much content to cover in any respect, but we will give you any news as and when we receive it. But we can look forward to that, can't we, Jord?
Aye, we can. But
So it was a couple of. I'll just say me piece, and then I'll let you take it. But yeah, of course, don't forget NXTGEN on several different social media channels. Of course, you're following us on YouTube right now, but don't forget you can also have a look at the Facebook group page, which is obviously separate from the group. Have a look at the a lot of different information left on Discord that you can have a look at. Also, have a look at Twitter and Instagram, good places to go naturally for any more content that you want on NXTGEN. Still collating and updating our website as well. It's just been updated in the last few days, so go and have a check it out at nextgenracing.co.uk. You can have a look at that too. That's looking really nice and new. We're updating that too as we go along. You'll be seeing a bit more information on that, but that's work in progress. In the meantime, it's bye from Jordan.
goodbye.
And it's bye from me, and wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a good one. See you soon.